What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, your host here at the DSN News Desk, back again to chop it up with you, the best fan base in the world. And I cannot stop talking about this issue, man. We've dug into it a few times, but I cannot stop thinking about this issue. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals continue to make headlines and waves in the NFL world. Now, this should have been started off and literally just ended as a happy moment for Kyler Murray, his family, and himself. Signed a $230 million extension, 5-year deal, $160 million guaranteed. After having some drama with the front office and his team where they seemingly couldn't get on the same page with making a contract agreement, they finally were able to make that happen about 4 days ago. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not sitting here talking about the optimism of the Arizona Cardinals. We're not sitting here talking about what this means for them going forward to the NFC West. We ain't talking about this at all. Because the Cardinals tried to slide a sneaky little addendum in there. A sneaky little agreement where Kyler has to I'm trying to get this out. Kyler had to perform independent study on his own for at least 4 hours a week in order to qualify for the money they were giving him. He had to study film uninterrupted that was assigned from the team by him. He had to get this homework and this study done without interruption, or they could have pulled money from his deal. I have never heard of anything like this in my life, especially from a franchise quarterback. This has to be one of the... Bro, I'm fumbling over my words trying to understand this because none of this makes sense, and nobody looks good in this situation at all. The Cardinals look so incompetent right now, it's embarrassing. If I'm a Cardinals fan, I am terrified for the direction of the future of my team. Because this is just absolutely laughable. They came out with a quote. I got the quote right here. I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. After seeing the distraction it created, we removed the addendum from the contract. It was clearly perceived in ways that were never intended. Our confidence in Kyler Murray is as high as it's ever been, and nothing demonstrates our belief in his ability to lead this team more than the commitment reflected in this contract. Who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to fool? What do you mean you have the utmost confidence? We don't see that. There's no reflection of that whatsoever. And you're now trying to sell that to the general public and the media with this statement. This is absolutely foolish. This is literally like if your child was horrible with cleaning their room, and to make them be better at it, you take pictures of their dirty room and put them up. Let's say they put them up on their wall or on the fridge in their kitchen, just to let them have reflection on how bad their room looks. Then you invite your family over for dinner the next day. Friends come over and they see the room. They go look at it. They see pictures and they ridicule it and scoff like, "Oh my God, just a horror. How can you live in a pigsty like this?" Then all of a sudden you get to them and you hear the feedback that they're giving, and you get mad at the people that's giving the feedback. You say, "Oh, how could you believe this? We have the utmost confidence in our child to clean their room and be responsible." I can't tell. Why would you put this out here for us to see? Why would you put this addendum in a contract that's literally I've never even seen or heard before? And I've heard from plenty of other media guys and players as well. They've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of a team having to beg and pay and put a clause in a contract saying, "Can you please study and watch film? Can you please do the extra work to make us better?" Because you see it. I see it with this team. I've never been high on the Arizona Cardinals in this new Cliff Kingsbury era. We're going to get into him in a second. I don't see any of this. But you see them as one of the most penalized teams in the NFL. The only time that they seem competent or really zoned in on offense is when they're playing off script, when Kyler's using his pitter-patter little feet, improvising and throwing bombs to DeAndre Hopkins. We don't see any of this. I don't see anything that's really scripted that makes this team seem like they have real direction of what they're doing. And now they had to add a clause in this contract to beg their quarterback to do his job is absolutely insane to me. Now, let's not even wait for Cliff Kingsbury. Let's get into it, because he had a quote himself, too, trying to say after the deal was made, well, I had nothing to do with it. Don't look at me. I had nothing to do with this. So where did this come from, Cliff? Where did this come from? At some point, the front office was able to make this decision from talking to, I'm guessing, players, maybe their coaching staff, that his play on the field is not being reflected in a manner that they have enough confidence in him to not put something like this in a contract. And you want to skate off and act like you had nothing to do with that? Like you didn't talk to the front office management about, you know what, maybe we should add some extra attention to Kyler, because I'm not seeing enough from him. I'm not seeing the study habits that verify that he's really doing what it needs to be a real championship quarterback and a real contender for the Arizona Cardinals. You cannot convince me that you had nothing to do with that, Cliff Kingsbury. Knock it off. Knock it off. Kyler, you too, man. This all looks crazy. This absolutely looks nuts. Kyler came out and was like, it's just an insult. It's a joke that people would think that I can't study, that I can't do my job. Why are you talking to us about it? Why are you lashing out at the media about it? Talk to your team. Talk to your front office about it. We're only going off what we know. We're not privy to what you know with the Arizona Cardinals. We don't see these meetings. We don't know anything about what goes on behind the scenes. We only can go off of what we know. And this addendum that they put in your contract was laid for a reason, pal. I don't want to hear nothing about you. This is an insult. And Cliff Kingsbury said, like, all y'all look crazy. This is absolutely nuts. And again, just the fact that you would even have to put this in a contract and still give him the money anyway. If you had this much doubt about Kyler Murray's ability to study and do the extra work and put the extra attention in to make your team better, why are you giving him a 5-year deal? Why did you sit on the horse that you had where you say, you know what, Kyler, we're just going to wait? Because clearly he was upset. We saw him scrub his Instagram of all Arizona Cardinals things on his page. It was clear that there was something going on. We're going off of what we see and what we know. The Cardinals have done good things. I like how they brought in DeAndre Hopkins. They fleeced him in a deal. You bring in Hollywood Brown, the former college receiver, to pair with Kyler Murray to give him a deep threat. You add in other veterans to take advantage of his rookie deal before you sign the extension on offense and defense. I love it. I'm fine with that. But this is ridiculous. If you have these doubts, you don't pay a guy $230 million with $160 guaranteed. You don't do that. If you're a competent team, I'll say. If you're a confident franchise, you don't do stuff like this. And for me, my biggest takeaway is I'm so happy that my Detroit Lions don't have anything of this reflection. We've seen this before with the Lions. We've seen their inability to, build teams correctly, handle rebuilds right, put in competent leadership in the right places. And I don't see that right now with this team. I remember last season, head coach Dan Campbell said the Lions don't necessarily need a super elite top 5 quarterback in order to be who they want to be. For me, this has me even more excited for Jared Goff, and I never thought I'd be singing the praises of excitement for Jared Goff, but I am. I am after seeing stuff like this. This is absolutely embarrassing. This is horrible. I could never imagine seeing, if we heard that Matthew Stafford sucked at watching film or preparing for games, and you hear, Lions just gave him a $200 million deal, they're going to run it back and put all their eggs in this basket, we would freak out, knowing that we already had this lack of trust in the front office. Hearing news like that and knowing that you had to put an addendum clause saying, please study, please do your job, is absolutely ridiculous. The Lions don't have that right now. The Lions do not have that. Again, we don't know what they're going to be in the future, but we don't see this kind of incompetence from this team, and I could not be more ecstatic knowing that. This is absolutely embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing to have a Pro Bowl, borderline elite quarterback who has to be begged to do the extra work to get his job done. Couldn't be me. Talk to maybe I'm tripping though. Maybe I'm just being too angry with the Cardinals. Let me know how you feel down below. How do you feel about this situation with the Arizona Cardinals? If you're a Lions fan, how does this make you feel about the Lions going forward? If you had to beg your quarterback to do this kind of work to make your team great, how would this make you feel? Talk to me down below. Hit us up on our YouTube page, all socials as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Follow me as well at I am Eric Vincent to be back here again with you at the DSN News Desk. Thank you for tuning in and chopping it up with me, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.